We are an independent organization trying to make sense of the fraud and corruption that is running rampant in South Africa. This video is not meant to be a target or support of any political party, but to ensure that the truth of fraud and corruption is exposed to the South African public. We previously focused on a construction company, called the Construction Co., run by Asif Khan and his brother, that, as it seems, has been covered and protected by the top brass of the City of Cape Town and the Democratic Alliance. Since our first video released, Alistair Stanbull, a city employee who is implicated in the fraud case before the Commercial Crime Court, has gone missing. The city is remaining silent surrounding the disappearance of Alistair, however he was pivotal in the fraud and corruption that the Khan brothers enjoyed. This video focuses on further alleged corruption under the management of the Democratic Alliance and asks very important questions that require answers from Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis and J.P. Smith.
The award-winning Best Run Western Cape. The best run municipalities in South Africa are all governed by the DA and having zero tolerance for corruption. This is the DA difference, and having zero tolerance for corruption. Zero tolerance for corruption.
Corruption is killing our country. Those who have betrayed the struggle are the ones in power who have made themselves rich, while the poor go hungry.
This is the DA difference.
In terms of council regulation, you are there to sit, smile, vote and get paid. We are not ATM councillors. If I need to get fired for the progression of Bonteheuwel, of Heideveld, of Mitchells Plain, of Kraaifontein and Lavendale, then you need to fire every one of us. Let me tell you the sad part. There are parties that claim to represent you. You'll see them. They'll come out here. They'll come canvassing. Whenever we bring forward the corruption of the Democratic Alliance, they never support us. They never support you.
We have previously reported on the matter with the City of Cape Town and the Construction Company, which is a criminal case that is before the Bellville Commercial Crime Court in Cape Town. City employees Alistair Stanbull, Majid Adam and the Khan brothers, Asif, Abdul Karim, Uwais and Irfan, alongside their employees Abdul Latif Abrahams and Craig Kannemeyer, are charged for fraud and corruption. Alistair has been reported missing, and whilst we are sympathetic to his family, criminals can't want to receive victim status after enjoying the plundering of public funds in South Africa. We released a previous video, which was downloaded and shared far and wide. We watched the commentary, which was interesting. These comments gave us the motivation to proceed forth, to give the benefit of the doubt to the Democratic Alliance and the City of Cape Town, as many have stated that this is an isolated incident being blown out of proportion. There is no secret that the South African political landscape is managed and controlled between the Democratic Alliance and the ANC. This content of this video is not for the person that wishes to vote on sentiment, but for those that truly want a corrupt-free South Africa. It is no secret that the ANC is corrupt to the core, which is well documented, publicized, and these acts have been accepted by President Cyril Ramaphosa himself. Although his acceptance doesn't make the plundering correct, he has owned up to the wrongs committed, hence we can understand why someone still thinks they're worth their vote even if it makes no sense. However, the narrative that the Democratic Alliance has come out with is, vote DA, rescue South Africa.
You can't complain about corruption if you're not voting.
So 1 billion rand was taken from health and education. 1 billion. But remember, this is from the same party that closed GF Jooste in Manenberg. It's not like there was a surplus of money in health anyway. Then they took it from our education budget also, and they called it for 1,300 leap officers. Now, we have committed, can I finish? We have committed CPFs, walking buses, and neighborhood watches working for free. They could have given those people a stipend and gotten 10,000 people for the same money, but these are the people that don't think. They promised that they cut the murder rate by 50% with LEAP, and you know what? It's actually increased. It was a bloody waste of money. That's number one. Now they talk to us about the railway that's not working. We know the ANC screwed up the railway. All of us know it. No one's denying it. Not even Faiz is going to. However, my city was given to us 15 years late. 15 years after Tableview got it. Tableview just coincidentally is a white area. They talk about developing Mitchell's Plain. Tafelsig het die pavement see. But Tableview has a lane for bicycles. This is how well they govern. They talk to us about safety and security. Let me tell you something. The ANC governs Gauteng. We can all agree on that.
Okay, fine.
But the murder rate in Eldorado Partner is going to be lower than the murder rate in Tafelsig tonight. That's how well they govern. I'm not done. He spoke for almost 10 minutes.
So
I want to say to the lady of Bosa, who I see.
When you make claims of this nature, you must be sure that you are able to stand up to the test of honesty, transparency, and accountability.
18 years of mismanagement of the city of Cape Town and the Western Cape. The Democratic Alliance has never been found to have stolen one single cent. Not one. It tells me that the opposition parties in that city of Cape Town are dead, dying, or drunk.
Is Cape Town the best run city in South Africa? Without a doubt, on the face of it, the answer would be yes. However, when driving through the sub-economic areas, then there is no difference between a poorly run Pretoria or Johannesburg. So in other words, Cape Town is the best run city for the privileged. When a crime is committed, one is always inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to the administration, that the criminals could have been clever enough to avoid the control procedures that are put in place to protect public funds. However, if there is a repeat, then you can't claim innocence but rather being complicit to fraud and corruption. Moving past tender 243Q, which we saw a tender go from 60 million to 503 million for a 3GB tender. To recap, a 3GB construction company is meant to do a turnover of 2 million rand a year, which now has been revised by the CIDB to 3 million rand per year. This means that the city of Cape Town expected a 3GB contractor to grow in capacity more than 83 times to perform 160 million per year in lieu of their ability determined by the CIDB. Our investigation took us to tender 339Q 2018-19. We know that the City of Cape Town tender, 243Q, that was awarded to the construction company Khan Brothers, has been plagued with irregular spending and is before the Commercial Crime Court for fraud and corruption charges. The City of Cape Town tender, 339Q 2018-2019, seems on the face of it to be another tender that has been used to misappropriate state funds. Watch Part 2 for the breakdown and assessment of tender 339Q.